very controversial. Please like and subscribe, by the way. Very controversial video on what I think your equipment target should be for infantry. Bearing in mind, I've been playing this game over 5 years. I'm 100 million commander. I'm a pay to play. And listen, if I wanted to be 200 million, I would have been 200 million by now. It's just that, for different alliances you're in, they kind of put restrictions on your power and things like that. And I don't need to be more than I am now. Anyway, so my advice to you, starting off from beginners, okay, and it'll be obvious when you can upgrade, and I'll try and make it obvious as I go through the video. My advice would be to go for the Windswept set. So with this set, it's obviously a blue set. Two pieces give you additional troop attack. You don't really need to worry about the march speed, so you may kind of mix and match, but just for simplicity's sake at this stage, I'd probably start off with a Windswept set. The things that are missing from here are your breeches and your weapon. So start off with a weapon without any doubt. And I say, because you're starting off, I know you're going to be kind of resource light. You're going to be resource light, so I'll definitely go without any shadow of doubt for the Gatekeepers Shield. And you know what? You may well keep this Gatekeepers Shield until very late in the game. Until very late in the game. If you look to the right side of the screen, main reason why infantry health bonus is at 8%. Early in the game, you're going to be super tanky from this. It's probably one of the most important pieces of equipment, probably the most important piece of equipment you're going to put on initially. And that 50, it's like 50 blue, is going to be a lot, but it's definitely going to be worth it. So that's my recommendation. In terms of breeches, okay, so you got the choice of infantry health on the Sentry Breeches, or the 3% defense on the Greaves of the Exile. Definitely one, there's no brainer. 6 is bigger than 3, right? You go for the Sentry Breeches. Breeches. All right. So after you've done this, mate, you're obviously going to do it for your primary commander. Possibly do it for your first 3, 4, 5 commanders. Probably at least your first one. Right? If I was doing a playthrough again, and I am thinking to do it maybe around about Christmas time, maybe sooner, but probably Christmas time. That's what I would do. I'd start off with that blue set. The next thing I would do is go for not Gladiator, Karuak Humility. Now look at the cost here. Excuse me. Excuse me. 40 purple. 40 purple iron and 20 purple. Did you say leather? That's a lot. That's going to be way beyond reach of where you're trying to get to initially. So, excuse me. But you will get there eventually. Now, if you invest in more than one commander, then obviously it's going to take you a lot longer to get here for the commander, which is actually going to bring some power to the game. You know what I mean? I think if you watch enough of my videos and stuff, you'll know the perspective I have is really you want to load up that first commander so that if you can only run one commander, that commander does amazing damage, or as much damage as you can muster. Bearing in mind, you're going to be very light on the ground for gold head sculptures and legendary commanders and significant commanders that can do damage, and I mentioned about starlight sculptures and things like that. So there's going to be a lot of things holding you back. So for the one commander that you can get a little bit of kind of advanced ground in, maybe you want to optimize his equipment, and that's going to be balanced with the fact that the further you go up towards, I think the maximum is 60, the early increments will be very easy to achieve, and the latter one's going to be incredibly expensive. You may well have, and I probably will, to be fair, now I think about it, a more kind of holistic net cost kind of approach where instead of spending $1 million to get from 51 to 52 or 49 to 50, if he takes all those kind of gold starlight sculptures, depending on what you're optimizing, instead of taking $1 million to get up that one increment, you might just have to spend like literally 10, 20, 30,000 to go up 5 for a different commander. You know what I mean? So it's all about net cost and benefits, and you will get, trust me, you will get to the top if you are starting off. May seem like a million miles away, but you will get there. But on that list, and very late into the game, we will be talking about Karuak's Humility. And part of the reason, one of the main reasons why I changed from Karuak to Legendary was because that change in meta. Whereas now, because you can get the iconic, I'll go on to my main commander now, who happens to be Infantry, and just show you the reason why I went from Karuak, well, in this instance, to Eternal Night, is because Eternal Night is very bountiful, and also, sorry about that, it's very bountiful, and also you can get these additional iconic attributes: the infantry base health, the enemy health ignored, unit capacity, and you literally cannot do that on purple. So I had to do it on infantry and on legendary. So as you go up the ladder, as you go through the game, as you go towards whale status, not that I am, but as soon as you go towards that, towards the optimal, it's going to have to be legendary. So at that stage, you regrettably let go of, I said Karuak, didn't I? Was it Karuak? Let me just double check. Yeah, I think it is Karuak's Humility, and it's going to serve you very well until you get to that point. So don't feel sad. But you can't replace the iconic, and you got to be in the stage where not only will you get legendary, and when you start thinking about iconic, then you got to have the equipment, so the materials, in order to upgrade the iconic to anything that's going to cause any damage. That's a long way to go. Long way to go. So that will serve you very well. Anyway, that's my video on infantry equipment, from the beginner to those in the latter game. That's all I'm going to say. I was going to touch on the equipment that you can get through KVK and things like that, but to be honest, in this new meta, you can't even just be a whale. You'd have to be a mega whale, just at the pace that you would get the blueprints in order to be able to, upgrade your iconic. You'd be better off just not bothering. You know what I mean? Just not better off not bothering. You probably need infinite money. And I know there's people out there who do have it and they can do that whilst they do other things, but that excludes the 99.5% of people people playing the game. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Please like and subscribe. That is Steve, and I'm out.